Hello my friends and welcome back to another Genetically Modified Overkill run. Hope you're all doing well, and I hope that you are ready for some suffering, because I have a doozy of a challenge for you today. When I first saw this mod, this is the first one that came to my mind, and the same was true of a bunch of people in the comments as well, so really excited to jump into this one. Before I start though, I also want to quickly thank Jonalov Holt for a third donation. Thank you so much, my friend. Super generous, of 59 Norwegian kroner. Really appreciate it. Alright, if you're not familiar with this mod, also I should mention that how it works is we combine the statistics of two characters together. So we could make, say, a Doctor Explorer and get the Doctor's medical weapon bonuses and the Explorer's giant map and everything along those lines. But we don't have anything so simple in mind for today. Today we are going to be doing the Golem, who cannot heal, and the Sick, who takes damage every second. I think this one seems impossible, and it's one that a lot of people have mentioned as being their sort of go-to for cannot be done, but I think it maybe can be done, and I'm excited to see if we can manage it. I think this is going to play out basically like a Golem, so we're going to go with the same build, roughly, that I went with for my Golem guide, and go with spiky shields, and let's see if we can do it. I've got a beer, and I'm ready for the pain, so gonna jump in. We combine the Golem and Sick, losing XP gain, slightly higher item price, more enemies, which is actually a slight buff to us, and plus enemy speed. I think that the big challenge here, so we start with 55 health, and we're going to take 1 damage every second. So it's not like literally impossible to make it through the first wave. And then as long as we can buy a little bit of health, we can make it through the later waves that have 60-second durations. So we're basically just playing with a 60-point health penalty. We only picked up 52 because I had to leave a bunch on the ground here, but I think that's okay. So we'll basically be playing with a 60-point health penalty, but we do start with the bonus HP of the Sick and the bonus HP of the Golem, as well as the Golem's HP gain modifier. I'm going to take armor here. Obviously we need that for damage, and the earlier we get that, the better. I will lock this alien worm. We, of course, don't care about healing from consumables, and this is an efficient way to buy 3 max HP, which we need lots of. Let's grab this spiky shield, lock the bag, and roll. And roll. And come on. Ah, we missed on a third shield. That sucks. If we'd gotten a third, I'd feel much better about this, but we're still in okay shape. Something to keep in mind is we're going to need to repair our speed because we are lowering it through the blunt weapon tag. At this point, I can still afford to take a few hits, so I'm just trying to maximize my income here. Break that tree, that's nice. One thing that is nice too is that level ups give us additional stats. Oh, I should probably try to take some damage in these early waves. I should take damage off the beginning of the wave in order to trigger the Golem's bonus move speed and attack speed earlier, because that will let me farm better. That's something that I should probably just keep in mind. Claw tree. We would lose some HP but get crit chance. I don't think we want that. We'll just recycle it. I'm going to re-roll this for armor or harvesting, maybe attack speed. Luck is worse for us because we don't have consumables. I think I'll just take 5% attack speed. I don't think we can afford to spend too much money re-rolling, because we're going to need to boost our health and defensive stats so high. Can we get another shield? Great. And then I will roll again, lock this other shield, and that's perfect. Also, we didn't find a crate, so not buying the bag earlier has not cost us any money so far. We'll see if we find one this wave. I know people will ask, so I'm very stereotypically drinking a Molson Canadian. Let me know if you're a beer drinker, what's your favorite beer? Just leave stuff in the comments below. And if you aren't, what's your favorite drink of choice? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic? I'm going to re-roll this. I think even this late is probably too late to start trying to build harvesting, and we really want to start just building damage and defensive stats. I'll take this 5% damage, and I'll take 1 armor here. Buy all of these. We now have 73 HP, which effectively means we have 13 HP when we get to the 60-second waves, so we definitely are going to need to increase that. I will reroll, and we get some more armor and some more health, and then I think that's fine. Move speed is going to be good, so we need that. And, of course, just health and armor, I think, are going to be the most important. Also, obviously, we can't heal, so we need to buy dodge. One thing that I'm thinking for this combo, too, is that the hardest thing is going to be wave 14. And so I think I may, even though they're typically not bad for this kind of build, I may want to avoid Alien Eyes and Cyberball, non-weapon sources of damage, because I'm going to need to be very careful about whether or not I break the summoners on wave 14. Wave 14 is typically when you take unavoidable damage, and this character is also not going to have reached the level of HP we'll need to survive it by then. So I think that's going to be a really important consideration. I'm just going to take 8% damage here. I also do want the dodge, but we need to get our damage up to the point where we're actually killing stuff. Buy both of those. Finally get to level up our shields. Shields also level very well, so, or max out our shields. Shields also level very well, so getting those stacked up early is nice. I'm not going to take Ugly Tooth. Our speed is already really bad, and so I want to roll for more items that give us additional options. Gentle Alien is interesting for this build, actually, because it's so... we already have plus 15%, and I am worried that if I stack too many enemy increases, it'll just be impossible to avoid taking damage. But I think it's the damage percent, the percent damage, the HP, and just the economic benefits of having it are still going to be worth picking it up. Especially this early on. Really feeling the minus 13% move speed. Obviously, that is painfully slow. But at least we're still one-shotting all these enemies, so that's good. As long as our damage is keeping up to the point where we're one-shotting most enemies, we shouldn't have too much trouble in the early game. We also don't have an elite on wave 11, which is good, because I think that's one of the ways this build can die pretty easily. We won't have great damage by that point. I'm going to reroll this. I think we can do better. And yeah, we'll just take 2 armor. I would also like speed, but I don't think you can ever pass up on armor on this build. And the 9 HP, which is actually 12 HP, is really good for us. We'll take the Gentle Alien. I think we're going to pass on Ritual. We're basically would be spending 100 on 6% damage, because we can't use the lifesteal, obviously, since we're Golem. So I don't think that's an efficient purchase. Level up the Spiky Shield. Do I want Scar? It's at the point where it's kind of on the edge as to whether Scar is good or not. Usually if you get it in the first 3 waves, it's definitely good to buy, but later on can be worse. I think I'll still take it, because we also have benefits from max HP, so levels are more valuable for us than for other characters as well. And then I'm going to avoid Baby Elephant for the reasons I talked about. Sword, I don't think, even though it's a medieval weapon, I don't think it's worth picking up here. Obviously, it doesn't scale with armor like the Spiky Shields, and we don't want to have to buy melee damage. So even at level 3 and a relatively powerful weapon, I just don't think it's worth it. So our damage is good. One thing to notice is that the level 2, it's dealing 39 as opposed to 28, because Spiky Shields level up so well. Their base damage scaling goes up as you level them, which is really important for a weapon like this. So we definitely need to try to make sure we are leveling these aggressively. We haven't come close to dying yet, but... obviously, as the waves get longer, our HP penalty gets worse. There's no way I'm going to kill that loot alien in time, so I'm just going to focus on maximizing farm. That is too bad, because if that had spawned earlier, a loot alien is also worth 15 cash, because we have a bag. Take the coupon for sure. More armor, yes please. Now we get to level these shields. I am starting to worry that we've found no additional speed. At this point, I will still take fertilizer. It's early enough that getting this harvesting going is still good, and fertilizer is just so efficient that it's worth buying here, I think. A second bag. Do I really want to lose 3 more speed? I mean, I think I'd better, right? We just have to buy armor when we see it, and bag is still just good. Here we get some of the speed back and get to level our spiky shields. I'm feeling okay about this. Our weapons are hitting for decent amounts. The main thing is minus 16% speed. Look how slow we are, yikes. We should have the damage to let the eggs hatch here. And I'm going to need way more health, obviously. Also, attack speed is something that we're really suffering from. Attack speed is one of the things that also can stop you from taking damage, too, because if enemies get to sneak in between your attacks, that's one of the ways that you take damage you can't really do anything about. So we need to boost our attack speed up to, like, at least 50% or so, if possible. Okay, we got the move speed boost. It is nice that we do get the move speed and attack speed boost as we take damage, so in the later halves of the wave, which are typically harder, we have more opportunity to clear. Pretty good income from this point, and we got a crate, which gave us an additional 30, so that's nice. And then we'll recycle this. We're not using that at all. Do I want 7% crit chance? I don't know how valuable that is for this build, but it is a level 3 upgrade. I think I'm going to reroll it as much as I want it. If it was any other of these damage, like level 3% damage, level 3 attack speed, I would definitely take. Obviously, level 3 armor we would take. But I think we have to reroll for something a little better at this point. And yeah, I think that HP is still good. And I'll take percent damage there. We'll take the metal, increasing our speed back up to only the minus 13. Roll again. Max out our shields at level 2, which is great. And then, okay, this is a really nice shop. I think we're going to want to pick up the lure here, because we should be able to, on wave 8, we should be able to hunt down both of them pretty easily. And that also with 2 bags, basically we paid 27 for the lure. So we're basically paying 27 for 2 random items. Obviously, that's an excellent deal. And then we lock these 2 HP things. We're now on the 55-second wave, so at this point we basically have 60 HP, and we'll have just about 50 HP starting next wave. I guess we basically have 55 HP, and we'll have just about 50 starting next wave, but we do have some locked, so that should help a little bit. When I'm this slow, it's pretty hard to actually kill these guys, because we're knocking the loot aliens away. So we got that one. I'm okay taking some damage here, and we'll kill that one. Well, 4 crates, that's so much money from these bags. This double bag has been a real advantage here. Okay, I need to stop taking damage, though, because I've only got 12 health left. It's hard to realize, you know, I'm looking at my health bar or my health amount, and I have to also do the math based on how much time is left in the wave and how much damage we're going to take, whether it's worth... whether we can actually survive. Blood donation, I don't think we can afford to take this, unfortunately, so we'll recycle that. Injection, I do want the percent damage. I don't know if we can afford to lose 2 2/3 HP from the Golem's additional 33% to HP modifiers. We are buying a bunch of HP, so yeah, I think I will take it. That could be a mistake. Armor and dodge we definitely need, and then there's no downsides to the Peaceful Bee, so we'll take that. Up to 16% dodge, that's actually quite nice, and the attack speed is actually really important for us, so very happy to see that. Level the spiky shield, and then now we get our HP back up a little bit at least. We took 2 things that reduce it, but can now increase it. And then I will still take the Gentle Alien. It is starting to be dangerous, just how many enemies are on the field, but I think it's worth it. Lumberjack shirt I will pass on here, I think, because our damage should be high enough to kill the trees in one shot anyways. Lure going into wave 9 is always a little interesting because you really want to just be focusing on the small guys and not like hunting stuff down, but Lure is still just a really efficient item for us, so I'd better just take it, and then we'll take the additional % damage. So we've actually got 50% damage. Attack speed and move speed are the things we're missing the most of, and of course any armor and HP and dodge we'll take, but we need to get our move speed up before we fight an elite. Here's an interesting question. We have 119 HP, so great damage off the spicy sauce, and we need to buy health. But on wave 14, this could cause us to accidentally break summoners. And that's what I'm really worried about for this build, is the incoming damage on wave 14. I think I will take it, but we're going to need to be a little bit more careful about picking up consumables on wave 14 as a result of that. So just keeping in mind that we've got some loot aliens that we're going to have to find. And you can see already my attack speed is causing some issues for us. Okay, there's 3 loot aliens on the field, where these hordes of aliens are breaking through in between my attacks, causing us to take extra damage there. All right, we got that one. Where's the other one? Oh, I was worried it had despawned, but it didn't, luckily. And we'll bully that one into the edge of the arena. Great. Okay, so we've managed to pick up all the loot aliens. Now I just need to focus on not dying. I thought I saw another one out of the corner of my eye there, but we didn't. Obviously, this is an incredible wave for us. The amount of enemies that we're farming and the amount of income we're getting is awesome. And these 2 bags have been worth so much money, even with minimal luck. We got 750 as well as 5 random items on this wave. That is incredible. So that's great. And also 3 level ups as well, which is really powerful. Move speed, thank goodness. I was really starting to get worried about that. Range is actually pretty good on spiky shields because they have weak base range, so repairing that is something I don't mind. And of course we need the attack speed, so we'll take banner. We're never going to build crit chance at this point because we're going well into the negatives, but increasing, obviously, metal is a great item for us, as is broken mouth. Oh, power generator. So right now this is an 11% decrease in damage, but any move speed we buy is more valuable. I think I'm going to take it. This could be a mistake, but it will end up being more damage overall, and we do need to buy speed. That's a very interesting purchase. I'm not sure if that's right or not. Do I take the level 2 damage or roll for armor or speed? I think I will actually roll. At this point now, taking % damage is a little worse than it was before because we can buy speed for the same result. Do I take max HP or 3% speed? I think I'll just take the level 2 max HP. Gonna re-roll this one. 9% speed. There we go. So this is what we needed. This will get our damage back up to where it was, as well as making our speed positive. I would also love the 9% dodge, but still really good. 12 harvesting is tempting just because I'm very greedy, but I think it's too late to really go all in on that. And then here, I'll just take another 9% speed. This gets our speed to a quite reasonable value and also increases our damage. So already the power generator is looking like a pretty good purchase to me. Take the spicy sauce. We'll take the reroll, of course. Not going to take Pocket Factory. This is another way to make wave 14 harder for us, so I'm going to avoid that. Level up the shield and roll. Gambling token. So it would cost us 1.3 armor because of the Golem's armor modification, and armor is very important to this character, but also that would let us buy 12% dodge in this shop alone, which would get us basically halfway to dodge cap. I think it's worth it. This again is something that could be a mistake, and I'm really starting to agonize over these choices because this is such a hard character combo that the margins really matter. But I believe this will be worth it because getting our dodge up to 28% means we can reach dodge cap sooner, and of course, dodge is super important for this character build, since we just absolutely need to max out our dodge so we aren't taking incoming damage. I don't think it's worth taking Shady Potion at this point, although the more crates would be good. Yeah, we've gotten 315 materials from these bags also, just worth mentioning how good those have been. More crates would be good, but does this increase our chance of getting crates enough? I don't think so. I think I'm going to roll past it. More HP, but less attack speed. I do want the attack speed. I also really need the HP. I think we'll pass on the defective steroids, and then I'm just going to go to the next wave. Those rerolls were starting to get really expensive, so I don't want to do too much with them. We basically have 80 HP right now, which is good for most characters, but pretty bad for the Golem. So that's just something to keep in mind as to where we're at. Of course, we also have 20-some armor and 30% dodge, so that 80 HP is multiplied significantly, but we're not regenerating. And most characters, even if you have like no healing, are going to get a couple dozen points of healing just from picking up consumables. So most characters can consider their HP totals to be a fair bit higher than the listed value just from consumable healing, even without any healing. The amount of enemies on the screen is also starting to be a problem. Just with my low attack speed, the number of incoming attackers is something that we're having trouble keeping up with. With only 3 seconds remaining, though, I'm going to run through the middle of the map to try to pick up as many materials as possible. We'll take max HP here. We need that. Armor in exchange for HP, I think, is still worth it. Obviously, the more armor we have, the more damage we do. This is going to be a tough wave for us because the Horde, our attack speed is just pretty low for trying to deal with these hordes. We are not going to take Triangle of Power. We take 1 damage every second. 2% speed, 2% damage for 1 armor, I think is still a good trade, so I'll take the helmet. I almost bought that, what's it, the lemonade, just out of habit. We'll buy the metal plate here and the tree. Tree is going to be good, of course. We'll roll again. Leveling up these shields is very nice. Very happy about that. Let's roll again. Any movement speed, please. Alright, we'll take the fin for sure. That will give us 10% speed and 10% damage. And I will buy another metal plate. That's awesome. So now we're up to 30 armor, which is great. Hopefully that's enough. I did do a practice run with this character, which is why I'm a little more confident in my choices, because it seemed hard enough, and I did lose that run on Wave 14, so that's where that kind of knowledge comes from, that Wave 14 is what's going to get us on this build. Right now it's actually, I think, not looking that hard, but this is pretty hard, and I would say we're on the high end for what you can expect from this build, just because those bags have worked out so well for us. Here, the incoming damage is really starting to stack up, just because there's so many enemies. I am starting to regret that second Gentle Alien. One thing to keep in mind is when you are definitely going to take damage, just run straight in. Like, don't hesitate. Because when you take damage or dodge an attack, you get some invincibility frames, a brief period of invincibility. So if you hesitate, you might take damage twice, but if you just charge in, you'll only take the 1 damage instance. So anytime you know you're going to take damage, just commit to it. You can see we're already like starting to run a little low on HP at the end of these waves, so let's take attack speed. That will help a lot. Upgrade this, take the spiky shield, take the cake, take the fin. That increases our damage as well as our move speed. Do I want the propeller hat? It's a free reroll. I think not, though. I think we're better off just not spending on stuff like that at this point. Level up the spiky shield, that's great. And then do I want the gambling token for the same reason I took it last time? I think I do still. We're getting closer to dodge cap now, and that's great. Not going to take the glass cannon because our percent damage is okay. I would have to do the math on that one to see if it's worth taking or not, and I don't like doing math, so we won't do it. If somebody wants to do the math on the comments, whether that would increase my damage out, like how much that would increase my damage output, I'm pretty sure it would have increased it, but probably not enough to justify losing the defensive stats from the 3 armor. Each point of armor is effectively increasing your HP pool, your effective HP pool by 6 2/3. So losing 3 armor, we're basically losing like 20 effective HP because we have such high base HP. So that's something to just keep in mind. Although some of that base HP is fake, so armor is actually weirdly less valuable than you might think on this character. We'll recycle this. Of course, we can't continue to take additional damage. And I think I actually am going to take attack speed over armor here. That will just help clear things faster. And though we do, of course, want the armor, we also really want the attack speed. I think we could do better than this. Let's roll this again. Sure, more attack speed. I was really hoping for a good dodge boost there or some max HP. Our max HP is starting to get pretty low at this point. Again, we've got 100, but we're Golem, so that's something to keep in mind. And when we hit the bosses, if we get there, that will be 100 and... we lose 30 more HP, effectively, because that wave is 90 seconds long. Unless we can kill the bosses before the end of the wave, of course. Which, at least right now, is my hope. I think our damage output is good enough that we can fight these elites. Alright, so... I would lose 9 base damage on these weapons and then gain 25% damage if I bought the glass cannon. I think I'm still going to skip the glass cannon here. But we'll buy more move speed. Reroll again. Buy the coffee. Lock the terrified onion for sure. Now, do I want acid? It feels self-defeating to be reducing my dodge, but I do need to buy any max HP we find, I think, so I think I will buy the acid here. Would love to upgrade this level 1 shield also. The level 1 shield is really not pulling its weight. You can see it's hitting for 67 while my other shields are hitting for 150. So if we could find a level 1 shield, which isn't that unlikely because we have quite negative luck on this build, so we should be fairly likely just to see level 1 items. Coming up on the danger zone in wave 14. Obviously, really great to find another one of those. We have gotten a lot of crate drops given negative luck. Honestly, I feel I have been quite lucky in terms of crate drops this game. I will take the alien worm. We've also seen a lot of loot aliens. 5% speed and 5% damage will take... One thing I'm actually going to keep an eye out for is the shackles that caps your max speed. You can continue to buy speed in order and gain damage from it, even with speed capped, but if my speed gets too high, it will actually be hard to avoid taking damage because I'll be moving so fast. So I should definitely keep that in mind as an option. Here I'll just take 6% dodge. Rerolling does not make any sense because our luck is so low, so the rarity of these level ups is always going to be quite low. And we want to max out dodge, of course. I do not want to take bait going into wave 14. So I think I'm just going to reroll past it rather than lock it. Bait is fine, but it's not something that we need to really focus on. We'll buy the spiky shield and level it up. Actually, is there a possibility that rather than going to a level 4 spiky shield, I should sell the level 1 and just buy the level 3? Probably not. 4% speed, 4% damage, 39% speed is reaching the point where my speed is getting hard to manage. I also do want to buy the lure, but I'm not going to go out of my way to kill these loot aliens, only if it kind of happens organically. Because one of the easiest ways to lose this wave is chase the loot aliens, thus accidentally killing a bunch of slugs, and just coat the map in summons. I think I will buy this, and I'll buy this. And I will throw in a reroll here. Now we'll just save our money. Alright, so we're very fast, so we're going to try not to break as much as possible. I'm just going to try not to break the slugs. Although, actually, slugs spawn the summons when they despawn as well. That's something I learned relatively recently. So you actually do want to break the slugs and then kill the summons as much as possible. At least just to stop the slugs from despawning. Let's go kill this loot alien. Trying to not take too much damage here. We've already taken a bunch, but I think we're going to make it through. And some of this is just because... Okay, yeah, so you can see, even without... While taking pretty careful pains not to break too many slugs in the early half of the wave, we've ended up with a lot on the field. So this is how we could easily have lost this wave. I think we're okay now. I'm going to chase down that loot alien, break the tree. And yeah, we've got plenty of health and stuff, so I'm going to go pick up mats. But you can see how close it was starting to get at the end of the wave. And only because I very carefully prepared for this wave did we make it through that intact. Buy the lumberjack shirt for sure, and then we will recycle Strange Book. Let's take the metal. So now I could start taking baby elephants and stuff. Obviously, in this version of the build, we don't want it because we have negative luck, so there's certainly no point there. I will take the gambling token again to boost my dodge up to 46%, but can I buy that and the vigilante ring, and do I want the vigilante ring? I think we don't need the vigilante ring, actually. It's very expensive, and it's not going to be worth that much at this point. Let me re-roll and see if we can get something else. I'm going to pass on Gentle Alien now. Wave 15, especially with an elite, is also dangerous because there are still summons at this point in the wave, and they can wave 15 you can easily stack up as many summons as on wave 14 and get in real trouble. We did get to upgrade our spiky shields, so that is great. I'll still lock the tree and then go to the next wave. So let's go kill this elite as quickly as we can, hopefully. Ideally without taking too much damage or breaking too many of the slugs. I'm going to go chase down at least a couple of those summons rather than DPS the elite for a bit, just to stop them from stacking up too much. Oh, I stood in that real hard. When you have a lot of move speed, this elite actually is not so bad, generally, because if you can just run along the direction of its charge and outpace its charge distance, you can end up doing really well. Alright, so I did accidentally break 1,000,000 slugs there, so we're going to try to avoid doing that again. And we're just going to play around the edge of the arena. I've got very little HP left. Wave 15 is really tough. That dodge came in handy. Let's go this way. We got another lucky percent dodge there. I'll break that tree, and then we're just going to get around to the other side. So we left 1,000,000 materials on the ground and didn't pick everything up, but you can see we lived with only 26 HP of our 190, so I feel very justified in how we played that. With no critical hit chance, we don't need Giant's Belt, so that is an unfortunate find for us. I will buy the HP, though. Awesome to find this spiky shield. Very happy to get to level this up. It also makes us more likely to be able to level it up easily in the future, as indeed you see here. Range and attack speed are still good on the banner, and we obviously don't use lifesteal, so I'm still going to buy that. And then I'm going to throw in one more reroll, see if we can lock anything. Nothing worth locking. Alright. Wave 16, this honestly shouldn't be too bad for us. We're very fast, so we should be able to outpace any buffed enemies, even with their additional health and damage and everything. And we should be able to hunt down the buffers very easily. Also, having increased my attack speed a little bit over the last couple waves, you can see we're really having a lot less trouble with just these groups of enemies, because we're attacking quickly enough to kill them. Man, we have gotten so lucky on loot aliens this wave. Let me get in here and kill those buffers before they make everything too fast to deal with. Alright, I'm just going to tank a bunch of damage just to clear those out, especially because we're getting near the end of the wave and have plenty of HP left. Baby Gecko or Sift's Relic would have been maybe useful earlier. We're actually leaving a weirdly high amount of materials on the ground in some of these waves. We did manage to pick them all up this wave, but just because we're having to play around the edges of the arena frequently. Let's recycle this. We don't need it, and we'll take the dodge here. Just get that back, try to get that up to maximum. We will buy the spiky shield. Adrenaline is a very inefficient way to buy dodge, but we're so close to dodge cap that dodge is just very valuable for us, so I'm willing to just spend on it. Buy the banner. I'm still not buying luck here just because our luck is so highly negative that it's fine. And actually, when you have highly negative luck can be an advantage because it makes you more likely to find level 1 items in the shop, and those are very efficient typically. So just stacking lots of level 1 items is one of the better ways, actually, to increase the power of your character. We have exactly enough, or almost pretty close to exactly enough, to be able to buy both of those and level up our weapons, which is awesome. We don't need the defective steroids, I don't think, although I do still want to buy max HP, but I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay, this could be tough, because the Summoner Elite. I'm going to just try to burst it down as quickly as possible. I'm not going to worry about taking damage. We do have some HP pool to play with. So yeah, killing that really fast, I think, was the play. And I better kill those. Gotta kill the buffer, gotta kill the buffed enemies, gotta kill the slugs, and then the summons before there are too many of them. Kill the slug up here, so let's go hunt down those summons. Really important to keep an eye on where you're killing slugs. Stand near them so that you can kill the summons as they spawn. $99 HP left, so we're fine for this wave. I'm just going to focus on picking up materials. We are so fast when we get the Golem speed buff also. Okay, so this is the item that GMO modded in. 100% XP gain, 3% damage for every enemy speed you have, plus 8% enemy speed. No, we're definitely not increasing enemy speed. So really bad luck on the items we've gotten out of boss crates, incidentally. But it's made up for by how many loot aliens we've spawned and the double early bag and stuff like that. I think our damage is high enough. I just want to focus on health, so I'm just going to take the level 2 health even over the level 3 damage there. Get to max out our dodge in a very efficient way, so that's nice as well. Buy the tree. Definitely buying Silver Bullet. The faster we can kill the bosses, the better here. And range and speed are still good for us, so Wings is going to be perfect. And Broken Mouth as well. Great. Riposte, unfortunately, we don't scale off of melee damage, so even though we're dodge capped and it will trigger frequently, it won't do anything. So this wave, again, we want to hunt down the buffing aliens before they make everything too fast. Alright, so I think I've found the formula. I think the really important thing is to avoid... so in my practice run, I did these like random sources of damage. Like I built a lot of Cyberball and Alienize and stuff because they were very efficient ways to increase my DPS. But then I just died on wave 14 because I broke just too many slugs and the summons overwhelmed me. So I think the formula for this character build is to avoid those and make sure we're killing this tree. Kill everything in the middle here. I'm going to take HP over speed. We really don't need more speed, actually. Buy all this armor. That's great. Roll again. Blindfold, we can never repair our crit chance, and our dodge is already maxed, so we don't need the blindfold. Don't need any of these, so let's just go to the next wave. I know many of you are eagerly awaiting the return of vanilla runs as well. Don't worry, we're not doing just modded runs forever, but I'm really enjoying this GMO mod. So we will be doing a mixture of the two. Enjoy, and have some patience also. I've gotten a couple comments where people are like, how could you do this modded run? Like, it's one video, my friends. Once again, though, I want to commend the Brotato community on being friendlier than the Baldur's Gate community, so good job there. I'm going to recycle this tentacle. Obviously doesn't go for everybody, and, you know, as a generalization. Let's take this max HP, and we cannot buy the spiky shield. We are ready to go to the next wave, I think. So I could lose dodge to get this HP. I don't think it's worth buying it. If I had bought some of the other dodge, like that blindfold or whatever, and was over cap, we could buy the acid, but I just don't think it's worth it to reduce our dodge at this point. White flag, I think I actually will buy. I think we just have a few too many enemies on the field, and we're going into the last wave, so it doesn't cost us anything. I could buy padding here. It would give me 9 HP, which would be 12, but we'd also lose 5% speed and 5% damage, so nope. Padding, still crappy. Range and attack speed, though, that's good. Range is also good against the bosses. Why don't we just buy the Weird Ghost and instantly end the run? And let me reroll. I was very worried I would accidentally click on that while doing that joke. That would have been hilarious, but also very sad. And, okay, nice. All this re-rolling has paid off because we got a silver bullet, which is awesome. Silver bullet is one of the only things in the game that stacks multiplicatively. So this multiplies all of your damage by now 150%, rather than just like adding 25% to your percent damage stat the way, say, explosive damage does. So silver bullet is a huge damage boost against bosses. This item is, I think, typically underrated in terms of how much damage it does. I will say also this attack speed has been incredible, but let's not celebrate too early. We've got to kill the bosses first. Doing very good damage against them, so feeling pretty on pace right now. But of course now's when they start spitting out more attacks, so I do have to dodge reasonably well. Got the one. Always kill the octopus guy first if you can, easily, because he's by far the more dangerous of the two. And there we go. Alright, well, they said it couldn't be done, but we've defeated Sick plus Golem. I'm really happy about that. I wasn't sure we were going to get this after my practice run was really, really tough. But I think if you want to try this yourself, it is doable. We did get a little lucky here, so you may need a couple tries just to get similar drop luck with these bags and stuff. But yeah, this was a blast to play, and I hope that you enjoyed it. As always, my friends... Oh yeah, also I should mouse over the items, because people have asked me to do that, so let's take a quick look. Our weapons are doing very well, obviously, 13k each. What else did we have? Bags ended up being worth 735 materials by the end of the game because we got 3 lures and stuff like that. We also ended up with 50 harvesting, even though I didn't prioritize harvesting just because of the fertilizer and peaceful bees. And this build came together really well. Very happy with my decision to buy power generator as well as these gambling tokens. Both of those paid off excellently. So while I was concerned that may not have been the right decision, it turned out it was. Alright, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and as always, if you have, do please take the time to hit the like button, leave a comment. Both of those help a ton with the algorithm. And you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game content. I will probably be back with some of the random runs that we didn't win pretty soon is next on the agenda, as well as checking out a couple more mods. This is the run that I like really wanted to play from this mod, so I'm not done with GMO because there's so much that you can do with it, but this is the one that I was like, alright, that's the run for me, and we did it. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.